everybody? Aaron Breitman, Scarlet Faithful, coming to you a little bit after Rutgers. Another disappointing performance, losing by 12 at home to Northwestern. Finish out the regular season with 3 consecutive double-digit losses at home. Certainly didn't think that would happen during the Pikel era, and at least the last 3-4 years. And obviously, a very disappointing end to the regular season. 6 of 8 now they've lost to end the regular season, all without Mawat Mag. And, I know people don't want to dwell on one player, but if you heard Chris Collins in the postgame, and that's part of why I waited. I wanted to hear the postgame press conferences. Chris Collins, really raved about Mag and the impact he had with Rutgers. And, it's whether people want to believe it or not. I mean, it's really changed the trajectory of the season. That being said, doesn't excuse, things that have happened. Offensively, they were pretty bad tonight. 30, what did they shoot? 36% from the field, 2 of 17 from 3, 11 of 21 from the foul line. 16 turnovers, and again, missed opportunities. 11 offensive rebounds, but just 8 second chance points. That's not enough. They amazingly forced 17 turnovers. The defense was pretty good tonight. They forced 17 turnovers against Northwestern, a team that's top 15 nationally in turnover rate, and they only scored 13 points off of them, which is not nearly enough. So, this team just cannot generate any easy offense. Everything's a struggle. And it was again tonight. They were 11 of 20 on layups. Missed free throws, everything. They just could not get in a flow. They started again, just like Michigan, up 10-3. And then they went on a huge slide. They scored 1 field goal in 10 minutes. This team is just really struggling offensively. Defensively, the effort was there. Congratulations to Caleb McConnell. Sad, that this was his last home game at the Rack, but he had 6 steals. He passed Miles Mack for second all-time in program history. I really hope he was named College Game Day's Defensive Player of the Year yesterday. Not the national award. I mean, it was for national, but, the actual award is by the Naismith Foundation. He's a semifinalist. But I really hope on Tuesday he does win the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year again. He averages 2.7 steals in Big Ten play. I think he's been, really good defensively in Big Ten play. I think the thing you can't quantify is his versatility. The fact that he can defend so many different types of players, so many different positions, and the best player for the opposing team, regardless what position he is. So I think that has a lot of value and should weight in terms of his candidacy, but I'm digressing, but yes, offensively, huge disappointment again tonight. Paul struggled again, 2 of 9. He was more engaged, which was good. He did have 5 rebounds, 4 assists, did have 3 turnovers, was just 2 of 9 from the floor. He missed, he was 4 of 7 from the line. Andre Hyatt, again, didn't have a great game, 6 points, 2 of 7 from the field, just 3 rebounds, didn't give him enough. Cam Spencer, he only took 5 shots in the game. That's just not nearly enough. He was on the bench at times when they needed to come back. I don't really understand that. Cam Spencer is your best natural scorer on the team, and he just wasn't a priority tonight, and I'm not really sure why. I know Northwestern did everything they could to keep him out of it, but, for a team that's lacking offensively, you have to get Cam Spencer the ball. I mean, I don't care if he shoots 3 of 15. I'd rather that happen than go 2 of 5. He did have 9 points, 4 of 6 from the line. Two misses from the line is crazy for him. He had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. We played 34 minutes, 5 shots. That's not enough. And I think that's a key factor in wondering, offensively what the plan is for them. Obviously, they wanted to get the ball to Cliff. They did. He had a much better game than he did. He only scored 4 points against Northwestern in the first game. He had 14 tonight, 7 of 12. Did miss all 3 free throws. Only had 6 rebounds. Rutgers was out-rebounded. -6 rebounding margin, which is, in a game that's a must-win against a Northwestern team that, isn't too imposing inside. Rutgers did outscore them by 10 in the paint. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful of them inside. I mean, Matt Nicholson, he had 5 dunks, 10 points, 6 boards. Brooks Barnheiser was amazing tonight. He had 10 rebounds. He led them with 16 points. He really was a killer. He made big shots when Rutgers, had chances to get back into the game, and he had a dagger every time, and he was really impressive. But yeah, I just thought, Rutgers wasn't rebounding. They just when they have misses, they you could see their kind of collective will and their collective confidence just kind of sink. Derek Simpson, thankfully did get some more action this game. He was, played 23 minutes. He had 12 points, 5 of 13 from the field. The only other player besides Cam to, score in double figures. He obviously missed some shots. He had 2 assists, did have a turnover, 2 rebounds, but listen, he's a creator, and he did create, and he kind of helped with that run down the end of the half. I thought, they were down 10, 25, 15. They went on a 6-0 run to go into the half. And I thought that could really kind of, get them going in the second half, and then they fell behind. And, Boo Buie, who had a, ineffective first half, just killed them in the second half, made some huge shots. And Rutgers didn't really have anyone. They didn't have anyone that stepped up. Cliff got some dunks. There was some good ball movement at times. There wasn't enough movement off the ball in the half court. They did do really well in transition. I think it was it 18-5? 18-5 in transition. Which is huge. But not enough of it. Rutgers has to be able to. They got to be able to get easier buckets than they're getting. In the half court, it just seems like they're reverting to almost. It's not exactly ISO, but it's kind of a one note in terms of their plan on the half court. And listen, defensively, not terrible tonight. Northwestern got a lot of free throws at the end because Rutgers was fouling. They gave up 65 points, but it was just that 1 point per possession. Which is fine, but under 0.8 points per possession for Rutgers is miserable, and the offense just is sinking them. So you lose that gut-wrenching collapse game at Minnesota, and then you have really a must-win tonight on senior night, and you come out and you play well to start, and then offensively you just can't do much, and it's really disappointing. Rutgers is now 18-13. They finished 10-10. They are one of 4 programs. I said this yesterday to finish with 10 or more wins in Big Ten play over the last 4 seasons. Each of the last 4 seasons, they're just 4 teams: Illinois, Iowa, Michigan, and Rutgers. So that is something to be proud of. Obviously, consistency is important. Taking the next step is important too. That matters, but. Consistency is important, but this is the first time in 4 years they had to win a game on the last week of the regular season, and they couldn't do it. So they go into Big Ten tournament, and they're seated 9th now. Definitely disappointing, for a team that was 8-4, in second place, 12 games through. Mag goes down. They finish out 2-6. And I know people are obviously. I'm upset. It's really disappointing. There was a bracketology. I think it was T3 bracketology. They tweeted out after the game, updated brackets. They had Rutgers as a 10 seed. I know that the metrics will come out tomorrow. The net, they're gonna fall. I don't know if it'll be around 40. Northwestern's not a bad loss in terms of opponent. So we'll see. There is a lot of movement going on. Michigan State could move into a quad 1 win tomorrow. Seton Hall is now a quad 2 loss. I think that might be it for now. But, if they get that 6th quad 1 win back, the resume is interesting. I think the biggest fear, and, Mike DeCourcy mentioned it on the Big Ten post game, was that, if there's one kind of note on the resume that is worrisome for Rutgers, it's that they've gone 2-6 without Mag, and there's not supposed to be a recency bias in terms of how the committee looks at teams, but they could look at Rutgers, and it's fair to say they haven't played at the same level without Mag, and if they hold that against them, which they could, it's going to be tight. I think Michigan is on the bubble as well, and Rutgers definitely is, even though they're still, hopefully still projected in most tomorrow. But I think that obviously Thursday, you need to win that game. You got to win that game. You lose that game, then you no longer control your own destiny, and to lose, your last three, and to lose two of your last, go 2-7 in your last nine, is not a good look going into the selection committee and the selection Sunday. Michigan's a tough matchup. I don't think they match up particularly well against them. But it's a noon game Thursday at the United Center in Chicago. Anything can happen. I know people want the season to be over. I know people are heartbroken. People are hurt. People are upset. People are, angry. And I get all those emotions. And I know that it's not looking good. But at the same time, and I know people probably don't want me to go on too much about this, so I won't, but it's really not over until it's fully over, and the postseason can bring weird things. And I know they look, somewhat dead in the water on the offensive end, and but until this team doesn't have an opportunity to play, I will keep believing that they can turn it around. And I thought there was a little bit of sign with Mulcahy tonight, and then it didn't happen. But Derek Simpson got more involved tonight. Cam Spencer's got to be more involved. He's got to be more involved. Hyatt has not done a lot offensively in recent games. This team, I don't know if it's a mental block. I don't know if they've hit the wall. I don't know if they're just exhausted. But I just feel like it's like they just need a spark to get them going. And I feel like they could get back into rhythm pretty quickly. And I know people probably think I'm crazy for saying that. So, huge disappointment. Precarious situation to be in for sure, heading into now the postseason, and we'll see what happens. I'll have more this week, a lot to digest, but offensively they don't look good at all, and it's a problem, and it's holding them back, and it's upsetting to see them go out like this on senior night at the rack, and it is what it is, but I think the most encouraging part is it's not over yet, and metrics wise and all that. I mean, they still have a chance, and until they don't, I'm going to keep believing that they'll come through. So it is what it is. Call me crazy, and but I think that hopefully this team can take these next few days, reevaluate some things, and Pico and the coaching staff have to come up with answers. So we'll see if they do, and follow all my content at thescarletfaithful.com. Thanks so much for watching again.